Charles Robert Redford Jr., born on August 18, 1936, in sunny Santa Monica, California, lived a life filled with artistry, vision, and heartfelt dedication to both his craft and the world around him. On September 16, 2025, the world bid farewell to the beloved actor, director, and producer, whose name became synonymous with elegance in cinema and sincerity in environmental activism. With a career stretching across decades, Robert Redford was celebrated not only for his talents on screen, but also for his passion for nature, storytelling, and building spaces that nurtured creativity. Throughout his career, Redford received some of the highest honors in film and beyond: an Academy Award, BAFTA, 2 Golden Globes, and the prestigious Cecil B. DeMille Award. He also received lifetime achievement recognitions, including the Screen Actors Guild Award in 1996 and an Academy Honorary Award in 2002. In 2016, he was granted the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and in 2019, the French honored him with the César. Time magazine even named him one of the world's 100 most influential people in 2014. These awards reflected more than fame. They represented the lasting impact of a man who used his artistry to inspire generations. Early years and roots. Robert was born to Martha Woodruff Redford, originally from Texas, and Charles Robert Redford Sr., an accountant. His family carried rich roots from Ireland, Scotland, and England. From both his parents' sides, stories of migration, resilience, and faith were passed down, shaping his sense of identity. His ancestors had journeyed from England and Ireland to America, creating the legacy that would eventually cradle the boy who became a star. Robert grew up in Van Nuys, where his father worked hard to provide for the family. His childhood was sprinkled with visits to Austin, Texas, to see his grandfather, a place that deeply influenced his love for the outdoors. He would later credit those early experiences in Texas for nurturing his environmental spirit and his devotion to preserving the natural world. As a boy, Robert battled a mild case of polio at just 11 years old, but his spirit remained unshaken. Though he described himself as a poor student at Van Nuys High School, he found joy in art and sports. He played tennis, even warming up matches with the legendary Pancho Gonzalez, and he channeled much of his energy into creative exploration. After high school in 1954, he joined the University of Colorado at Boulder, but soon struggled with drinking and lost his scholarship. Rather than letting that failure define him, Redford turned it into an opportunity to grow. He traveled through Europe, living in France, Spain, and Italy, soaking in art, culture, and perspective. Eventually, he studied painting at Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, and later honed his craft in drama at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York City, setting the stage for his remarkable career. Net worth. At the time of his passing, his net worth stood at around $200 million, but his true wealth was measured in the inspiration he gave to countless artists and dreamers who followed in his footsteps. Love, marriage, and family. Redford's personal life was marked by both joy and sorrow, triumphs and tender heartbreaks. In 1958, he married Lola Van Wagenen in Las Vegas, sealing their love with a second celebration at her grandmother's home. Together they had 4 children: Scott, Shauna, David, and Amy. Their firstborn, Scott, tragically passed away just 2 months after his birth, a heartbreak that stayed with Redford for life. His daughter Shauna grew into a painter and married journalist Eric Schlosser, while David pursued writing and producing before his untimely passing in 2020. Amy followed in her father's footsteps as an actress, director, and producer. Through his children, Redford experienced both the joy of watching them blossom and the pain of losing them too soon. He also cherished his role as a grandfather to 7 grandchildren. Though he and Lola eventually drifted apart, the two shared years of history and family. Later in life, Redford found lasting companionship with German-born artist Sibylle Sagers. The two married in 2009 in Hamburg, Germany, after years of sharing a home together in Sundance, Utah. With Sibylle, Robert found peace, love, and the gentle companionship of a soulmate who shared his love for creativity and the natural world. A deep connection with nature and home. Perhaps one of the most beautiful chapters of Robert Redford's life was his relationship with land and place. In 1961, not long after the success of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, he purchased a modest cabin in Timp Haven, Utah. What began as a personal escape soon became something larger. He bought the entire town, renamed it Sundance, and turned it into a refuge for artists, dreamers, and environmentalists. Sundance was both his sanctuary and his gift to the world, a place where storytelling and nature met in harmony. His real estate portfolio was vast, stretching from the mountains of Aspen to the wine country of California, from Malibu's oceanfront to the artistic haven of Santa Fe. Each home he bought and sold reflected not only his success, but also his desire to stay connected to beauty, culture, and the serenity of the natural world. Among his most cherished properties was the Horse Whisperer Ranch, a 30-acre retreat named after his iconic film, where he could breathe, create, and simply live. Career. Robert Redford's story is one woven with grace, brilliance, and enduring passion for art. His career began in the heart of New York City, where a young dreamer took his first brave steps on the Broadway stage. In 1959, he debuted in Tall Story and later appeared in productions like The Highest Tree and Sunday in New York. But was in Neil Simon's Barefoot in the Park that Redford truly shone, capturing hearts as a charmingly stiff newlywed alongside Elizabeth Ashley. Those early years were filled with guest appearances on beloved television dramas, from Perry Mason and The Twilight Zone to Alfred Hitchcock presence, showcasing his versatility long before Hollywood claimed him. His transition to film began with Tall Story in 1960, where he reprised his Broadway role. Soon, his presence grew stronger with memorable performances in War Hunt, 1962, and Situation Hopeless, but not serious alongside Alec Guinness. By 1965, his Golden Globe-winning role in Inside Daisy Clover revealed his star quality, especially in his tender on-screen chemistry with Natalie Wood. More hits followed, such as This Property is Condemned, 1966, and The Chase with Marlon Brando, proving Redford was no longer just a rising talent, he was becoming a star. Then came the defining moment of his career. In 1969, he joined Paul Newman in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. The film was more than a success. It was a phenomenon that etched Redford into cinematic history. He embodied the role of the Sundance Kid with a mix of intelligence, wit, and quiet strength, qualities that would define his screen persona for decades. The partnership with Newman blossomed again in Sting, 1973, a dazzling success that brought him an Academy Award nomination. The 1970s were golden for Redford. From the romantic The Way We Were with Barbra Streisand to the political thriller All the President's Men, 1976, he proved that he could captivate in romance, drama, or suspense. Each performance felt authentic, touched with a natural charm and humanity that audiences adored. He wasn't just a handsome star, he was an artist with depth and purpose, who often infused his roles with reflections of his own concerns for truth, justice, and society. In 1980, Redford stepped behind the camera, and with his directorial debut Ordinary People, he once again made history. The film won him the Academy Award for Best Director, showing the world that his talent extended beyond acting. From Out of Africa, 1985, to A River Runs Through It, 1992, his work, both as actor and director, continued to inspire. Beyond the silver screen, Redford's legacy grew through the Sundance Institute and Sundance Film Festival, nurturing countless independent filmmakers. He gave back to cinema what it had given to him: opportunity, voice, and vision. Death. Redford died in his sleep at his home in Sundance at the age of 89 on September 16, 2025. He was survived by 2 of his children, 7 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. Numerous members of the entertainment industry paid tribute to Redford, including his Out of Africa co-star Meryl Streep, who wrote, "One of the lions has passed. Rest in peace, my lovely friend." Others who have also paid tribute to Redford include Ron Howard, Marlee Matlin, Coleman Domingo, and Stephen King, 87-88. In obituary, Variety wrote that he became a godfather for independent film as founder of the Sundance Film Institute, that as a movie star in his prime, few could touch him, and that in his 70s heyday, few actors possessed Redford's star wattage. Andrew Pulver wrote an article for The Guardian, where he called Redford giant of American cinema and one of the defining movie stars of the 1970s, crossing with ease between the Hollywood new wave and the mainstream film industry. Rest in power, Charles Robert Redford Jr.